Oh god, I'm somehow ready to solve everything else here. Okay. This would never work the way she imagined, but some of these pieces seem legitimate. Interesting. Important. Even the wildest myths are usually grounded in some small fact, I suppose. Oriel Chisant. Parts not even connected. So she put all the stuff... She got all the pieces that were missing, but then they're not even, like, attached correctly. Whoops. Look, looks like she made, Gavril's classic translation error. Replenished and eliminated wrong. Hate was a reasonable guess. Poetically, this symbol linked to fiery passion. Curious to find out what this one might mean. That might be heat and cold, given that they start doing burning and ice in the next 2 chapters. Now I'm curious. Gavril's classic translation error. I'm just wondering if this is a real life thing or not, because this game is an alternate history thing. Top 6 worst translation mistakes in history. Gavril Krastovic or Gavril Sarishev. I don't know which one of these is. Let's go to the top mistakes in history. Okay, Gavril's not in here. I'm gonna give up. I'm researching this live for now. But I was curious. Okay. They're picking apart that translation. Hello. Oh, is this the pain in the ass guy? Of course I want you back. Nathan said I could hire an independent consultant, and it was your incredible insight that got me here. Uh-oh. How did he take... Oh, no. That's a horror scene. Okay. Following the mid-year inspections, this guy became the lead? That's not... That can't be good. Project terminated, emotion studies. I guess that's this over here then. But I think now she's back. I don't think this guy works in any of this. Are you demoted to research assistant? Yep. They demoted the lead to the research assistant, and they brought in Tessa as independent consultant. Okay. That's not great news for anyone. So just a massive upheaval back and forth. Okay, so with funding from the OPIC Corporation, Tessa Navari ran the Harmony Foundation. They used broken parts to build an artifact, believing it could replenish, give, reach enlightenment. Yeah, replenish and deplete are gone. And then... You thought I would decrease one thing and increase another thing. Let's see. Decrease... We'll go over that for now. And in doing so, help people... I think that's reach enlightenment. Unclear about the verbs here. However, it actually... did nothing? Hatred... Yeah, something hatred and, something empathy. It actually did nothing. take hatred and then give empathy. There we go. But actually did nothing. Due to blah blah blah, the blah blah building was blah. Repossessed. There we go. Harmony Foundation building. Due to Tim Spender's something over discovery. I don't do that yet. Jack Nowak realized the artifact might work if it were rebuilt, because it was broken and done wrong. Mary Westlake was in charge of lab access, testing, but blah blah. But delayed testing because they're supposed to. But despite this, Eugene Marmot touched the new device, activated the new device. Let's say Tim Spender's funding, I guess. No. Overspending. Tessa Navari's overspending. Is that closer? That's not closer. Well, it's not provably closer. Because she did get called out for... yeah, here. Chief Auditor of OPIC's Finance Department. Frankly, you seem to be robbing us blind. Yep. So it's probably Tessa's overspending. I think I'm right about that part. And Spender runs that stuff. So with funding from the OPIC Corporation, Tessa Navari ran the Harmony Foundation. They used broken parts to build an artifact. Stolen parts. Believing it take hatred and give empathy. Help people reach enlightenment. I'm worried that like the verbs might be goofy, or that like there might be subjective ways to phrase some of this. However, it actually did nothing. Due to Tessa Navari's overspending, Harmony Foundation building was repossessed. Jack Nowak realized the artifact might work if it were built. Mary Westlake was in charge of reconstruction, but delayed testing. Despite this, Eugene Marmot activated the new device, so it was denied lab access. She specifically said that we can't do it until the inspection. This guy definitely thought he could solve it. No testing until await of board approval. Still don't know why the lab's been so cold lately. Because this thing's just been freezing the room. You're supposed to stay behind the tape and not touch it for now. No test before board approval. That's gonna be a mess. Yep, emotion studies. So that's the thing that was shut down. They got the budget under control. Hi, Nathan. Tim Spender. So yeah, Tim shut things down. People in charge of all the wrong priorities, says Jack Icarus. Oriel Toussaint. That's not Jack. It's Oriel that thought it might work. Okay. It didn't change. It changed when I put the first one down. So that means we had 3 errors, and then the first one made it 2, giving it the yellow threshold, and the second one didn't change anything because that's how it works. So we're down to 1 error. Probably a blue word, honestly. Oriel Toussaint realized that the artifact might work if it were rebuilt. Mary Westlake was in charge of reconstruction, but delayed testing. Maybe not reconstruction. It's reconstruction. It's laboratory. It's testing. Hatred, heat, chaos, life, something. It could be in charge of its laboratory. Nope. That's probably an error then. Procedure. With funding from OPIG, these broken parts of the artifact. Is there different ways of describing the parts? Stolen parts of the artifact? You fuckers. Alright, sure. You win. Yeah, they get really finicky with some of the stuff at some point. We're like, come on, I made the narrative. This was good. Okay. After learning about the blah blah, blah blah believed that he had blah because the blah blah had been said blah blah. However, it actually sent to blah 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 during a blah blah. During a blah blah, it's tried to set it to blah blah, but actually set it to blah blah, which is a blah. Blah blah was hit blah blah blah. Kill me. Okay, I think it's Eugene Marmot was burned. No, burn is not in here. Harmed? No. This is Eugene Marmot. This is what happened. Yeah, no, this is someone being dumb. Yeah, they were... I'm seeing the verbs here. I'm like, they were impressed by Eugene Marmot's discovery and rewarded him with a promotion. That's a word in here, right? Yeah. Whose fault is that? Do we know? I mean, certainly it seems like you're not... You certainly don't seem proud of him. I guess that, yeah, it's probably the chairman. The most out-of-touch person is making horrible decisions about the entire lab and putting the worst person in charge. I like your gumption, boy! And it's like, no! Please, no. What was his name? I know Tessa and Tim Spender, Westlake, Toussaint, Jack Nowak. Nathan Hoyle. There we go. This dumbass. But the dumbest person in charge was just pressing buttons, probably. After learning about the Harmony Foundation, Eugene Marmot believed he had been blah because of the blah sent to blah. So I think the Harmony Foundation gave him the pamphlet. And that's what led him to take actions. Started a fire. But this is the test. This should right. I'm not trying not to deal with this right now because it looks like a pain. But this middle part should be the last sequence right here, which is when he lights himself on fire. So Eugene Marmot. During a board inspection, Eugene Marmot tried to set it to, then actually set it to something. Increase heat, I guess. That should be the easy part. Give heat. But the question is, what did he think he was doing? So we should now know that based on what we learned they thought that this thing did. So what did they think the J was? That's the symbol for hatred, they thought. And the J without a dot, which one did they think that was? So remove hatred, yep. So he thought that he would do take hatred. So they literally had give and take backwards. That's how far off they were. That's not great for them. They tried to set to take hatred, but actually said give heat and started a fire. He believed he'd been punished because the blah blah. This artifact. The deactivated artifact, I think, is what they're going for, because it wasn't working. It had been set to blah blah, but actually it was set to blah blah, which blah blah. This should be what caused the ice, so it must have been take heat, right? Let's see, have it actually been set to take heat? Which froze a bird bath. And what is it set to right now? It was set to they thought it was set to add hatred, and that's why, like, it all makes sense. That's why they're so mad at me. I made them angry with the hatred setting. He's super delusional. They thought it had been set to give hatred, which would be bad. Okay, so one or two things is wrong. I'm gonna change his names. Okay, that's good. I just increased the errors and it was still yellow. That means one thing is wrong, not two. So all the names are right because they count as two things. It's just somewhere in here, one noun or description or whatever is off. Just one brown or blue, but there's a lot of them. After learning about the Harmony Foundation, Eugene Marmot believed he had been punished because the deactivated artifact had been set to give hatred. However, it was actually set to take heat, which froze a bird bath. During a board inspection, Eugene Marmot tried to set it to take hatred, but it actually set it to give heat and started a fire. Nathan Hoyle was impressed by Eugene Marmot's discovery and awarded him with a promotion. It's the type of thing where, like, if Jack was given 5 minutes with this thing, he would have really quickly figured out what the buttons and combinations did. But because Mary denied everyone access to it and Jack follows the rules, Eugene Marmot had the chance to impress Nathan Hoyle because he like, look at my mastery, I figured out how to make it do something. But really, The answer is that making the idol do something is really not that hard. It's just that they were specifically banned from doing that because they were supposed to wait for the inspection. So people following the rules makes them look incompetent and they get demoted. And the person who doesn't follow the rules and just mashes buttons and causes multiple accidents and hurt people, he gets promoted just because he accomplished something. Even though they only the other people were only not accomplishing things because their hands were tied by the company they worked for from doing anything. Great. Okay, I'm suspicious about artifact. Like, how do I describe artifact? Deactivated. The rebuilt artifact. Let's try that. There it is. Yeah, deactivated didn't really make sense, I guess. It's just a word that fit the grammar. I didn't see a better option at the time. And that was me being wrong. And that's what we'll be doing with the idol next. IDOL. That's going to cause all sorts of legal problems. It's totally unscientific. Where's our control group? Sounds good to me. I'm sure the universe will guide us. Excellent. Full steam ahead then. Okay, so he's gonna ruin everyone's lives. And people are is he gonna cause the fucking red plague or whatever it was called? The crimson detritus, I don't remember what it was called. The curse, the red curse, is that what it's called? Alright, chapter 4, the trials. I guess the whole screen fits on this one screen, huh? It's probably 5 chapters overall, each with like 2 to 4 or 5 levels or something. Well, it hurt to watch that play out. Welcome to the penultimate part. Chapter 5, the trials. Yeah, I guess there's 5 chapters. In which mind-bending discoveries are made. But it's going to happen. We're starting off at the beginning of the timeline for once. That almost never happens. Even though every chapter is out of order anyway. Feathered Frenzy, a deadly attack at the aviary. Hello, Crystal. Ah! That's a sound. Wow, there's just stuff everywhere. Oh god, I think his neck got... Is he not breathing? This man is not breathing and his neck is bleeding. Yeah, I think I know what happened. Incubator and aviary keys. That looks like the jade key I just encountered in a threefold recital. He's got feed, OPIG trial volunteer form. Oh no. He was a trial volunteer and now he's dead. He like probably didn't even get paid to work here yet or anything. Heron, bright plumage and feeds on live prey, has teeth. Might be you. I don't know about bright plumage though. Grouse, bird is endangered, predator status, hides its eggs. Did he step on one of their eggs, it looks like? Yeah, his foot's covered in gouged stuff. So maybe one of them... This might be the grouse. I think it attacked him for stepping on the egg. The red-breasted... That's it? Doesn't say the rest? This heron is known for its aggressive nature, extremely sharp. The masked... I guess they're the masked and red-breasted herons. This bug-eyed, yellow-footed, despite its extremely territorial bushes. What? I guess this must be extremely sharp. Okay, so these words don't work because the pages are cut in half. That's why it only says part of the name here. Just some of it sounds correct at first, so you're like, what? The death rattle. You use its colored feathers as against predators, often mimic the sound of and silence. Okay. Let's just go ahead and try adding these all. Maybe they'll let me add them together. Okay, yeah, they're halves and halves. Hopefully they'll give me a page that lets me try to combine them. We'll see, or I'll have to go back to them all manually and figure out how to combine them myself in a nightmare. This guy's just hanging out. He's just chill. Doesn't give a fuck. Oh. We'll get to you in a minute. A bird. The bracelet. Okay. This might be the Foundation's current symbol, But there's that symbol, that symbol, that symbol. That means something. We need to learn what the middle ones means still, I think. Rot, I'm sorry, Rot. I didn't know, Rot. I think he stepped on a hidden egg and got murdered, and he's trying to apologize to the birds and calm them down, like, which, you know, desperation, and got murdered. Yep, that looks like egg yolk to me. Yep. He stepped on 2 eggs. What, as I say, this guy was discovered. Are you saying it's your egg? Did they all fight you over that guy's eggs? Or did that guy kill him and then just fly away like he moved on? Triggers. I was say what agitated what? I'm wondering if you got agitated because the eggs are broken? I mean, this guy's really into the bracelet. But yeah, I'll actually look at it better. Let's keep going. Declan, what did you do? Why is the place you're in so fucking dangerous? It's a bit much. Okay, someone's eggs are being incubated separately. Warning, overexposure to heat from the incubator could prove fatal. Always remember to check on eggs after putting them inside. Eventually you'll just cook them, right? Why? He promised to take care of you. The bird is dead. Oh no. Was this bird left in the incubator? Did it hatch? So she has access to the incubator and the aviary. You only have access to the aviary, but not the incubator. So so he's probably the he. The bulb was too hot to touch. So is this a newborn bird that was inside there? That might be the baby version of these guys. Oh. Black sunflower seeds, flower piercer. Millet, Lori. White bone meal, Harold. Horn for the grouse. They have... Is that the black seeds or whatever? That might be corn, or millet, I don't know. That's definitely the white bone meal, I guess. Everything else is a little hard to identify right away. Thanks for running the incubation station for me, Declan. See you after your lunch, Marcy. So all 3 people are here. I think you're Marcy, because you were sad about this. And that's Declan, who was supposed to be taking care of the stuff. 5 of the things I'm identifying are just the animals. And then there are 2 halves of each one. Yep. Okay. Oof. Can I put the documents on a board somewhere to look at them all? That'd be very helpful. Ooh, symbols. Oh god. So that's the chapter stuff. Feeding schedule. Lori, Heron, Grouse, Hatchling, Flower Piercer, Grouse, Herald. Marcy and Declan. Marcy crossed out, just Declan. The hatchling. So that's when they're supposed to take care of the hatchling and he didn't do his job, I guess. And now Marcy's sad about the dead hatchling. Whereas they're currently supposed to be feeding someone down here, I think. Let's see. Daily notes. New employee starts on August 29th. Safety and handling training. 30th. Declan lunch break 12 to 1:15 p.m. So you're supposed to take care of the hatchling before the break. It's now after the break and the hatchling is dead. And she's back from break and saw what happened. Because Marcy's scheduled for 1 p.m. So she would have written this note at 1 p.m. and then gone out to check and things were bad. But now Declan came back out and got murdered? Or Declan died during his break when he was died during his thing when he was alone, was assumed to be on lunch break, but never actually went. The one who stole my heart. Good for you. I guess we should put that in more. No, your name is Moore now. Marcy and Declan, Crystal, Declan, Marcy and Declan, Marcy, Declan, Crystal. Okay, so Crystal's our name. Crystal Moore. An appointment at 12:30 on August 30th. Welcome to Morag Avery, new employee guy. So that's Declan. Declan's name is Aster. Aster Declan, I guess. Declan, I think I'm going with this names. Yeah, last names would be on these things. Let's not mix it up. Palmer. Oh, we found everything. I think this is going a little faster right now. Marcy Palmer. Okay. Travel guide, steps for new employees. For training new employees, yep. Look how much they like their little hatchling, yay! And then they fucked up and didn't take care of the hatchling, yep. So she cared about the hatchling. Okay. Now it's just a mess of things to unpack here. Something guide to birds. Can I please combine these things somewhere? Oh, this is gonna be annoying. Alright. I think these are the two halves of this one. Morag Aviary's Guide to Birds. Being a bird keeper is hard work, but if you follow this guide, you will have no trouble taking care of our feathered friends, the bleary-eyed flower piercer. This excitable bird is this is where I fall for it. It looks like a sentence on this side. This excitable bird is known for its curious nature. The flower piercer may react aggressively toward bright colors. Avoid their habitat to prevent agitation. Avoid bring anything neon inside. Avoid their habitat. Okay. So the bleary-eyed flower piercer is this guy. Bleary-eyed flower piercer, and that's why he has that bracelet, which he made the mistake of wearing. So he okay. His lunch break's 12 to... Okay, so during his lunch break, he went to this appointment with this foundation and came back with his bracelet, which is not from this organization. And that's why that thing's going after his bracelet. Which might just be him fucking with the body and not really related to how he died. Something Lori. Okay, so these two are left page, and this one's right page. Let's try to get to those ones first. The red-breasted heron is known for its bright plumage and aggressive nature. Feeds on live prey. Has extremely sharp teeth. Red-breasted seems like it could be this guy. The red-breasted heron. The masked grouse. This bug-eyed, yellow-footed bird is endangered despite its predator status. Extremely territorial, hides eggs in bushes. I think this guy killed him. The masked grouse. I think the joke here is that the most timid-looking one totally killed him. It's extremely territorial. So it got set off by that. Whereas one of these is just set off by the other bird, even. Interestingly, what agitated it? This guy's not even on the list. He might just be checking things out. Or he might just be drinking water. This might be a Men in Black joke where it's like, that guy's just blowing his nose. He's just working out. I'm gonna shoot that guy. You know, the other stuff. And then it's like, that girl is reading a book way above her level of education. That's, I'm gonna shoot the small girl. And there's that whole everything that happened there. The death rattle lorry. Uses its colored feathers as a method of intimidation against predators and prey. Its piercing cries often mimic the sounds, there we go, of words is recently heard. Silence is advised, as speaking will cause these birds to scream. Technically, he agitated this thing by talking around it. What was it called again? The death rattle lorry. That's upsetting. Called the death rattle lorry, and it's like, well, it is your death rattle. It's repeating your death rattle right now. How do you like that part? Neothalix. That just sounds like a Lovecraft word right there. Neolithic's herald. These terrifying creatures were discovered in the jungle, where they scavenge for bones. Silence is required, as loud noises will set off these creatures, provoking attack and triggering their self-defense mechanism. So that's Neolithic's herald. Why do they have an entire place dedicated to evil birds? Just like the most violent, terrifying birds ever, and you just like let people work in here like the day after they started training. This strikes me as a bad plan overall. Feels like you're just gonna get more bodies that way, but every single organization in this thing is badly run. So that was set up by them. Oops. On account of them screaming. Okay, events. Let's see what we can do here. At the Aviary, blah blah, when she blah that a blah had blah the incubation center. Meanwhile, blah blah entered the Aviary with his blah bracelet was stolen. The bracelet was stolen by the bleary-eyed flower piercer. Following this encounter, blah blah went to blah 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 and stepped on the eggs hidden in the bush. That's Declan Astor. That shouldn't be him so far. In retaliation, the masked grouse attacked Declan Aster. I don't know if it attacks or not. Let's see. Killing him? His last screams were mimicked by the death rattle glory, which agitated the Althix Herald, which then attacked Crystal Moore. Okay, this mostly comes together. Marcy Palmer cried when she a hatchling had overheated in the incubation station. Mimicked, overheated, discovered. Marcy Palmer cried when she discovered that a hatchling had overheated in the incubation station. This should be Declan. Meanwhile, Declan Aster entered the aviary where his bracelet was stolen by the bleary-eyed flower person. Following this encounter, Declan Aster went to feed, because he's feeding a particular animal. But then stepped on the thing in the bush. So we need to correlate what he's holding on to as a type of feed. But it's hard to tell what that is. We can. It's not the black one or the white one. Black sunflower seeds. White. Okay, it's neither of these ones. It's either corn or millet. I'm gonna Google millet really quick. Don't remember what that looks like. Yeah, it's just sort of a mishmash of little seeds, I think. A cereal. It belongs to the grass family. Because it doesn't... It could be made of corn. I experienced corn being prepared kind of like that, but it doesn't really look like corn. I guess I'll know really quickly if it's right or not. Oh, but who's it feeding, right? Get out of the way. The millet's for the lorry. The death rattle lorry. 2 or fewer. Alright, let's do the test. The masked. Okay. I am right about the death rattle lorry. There's a singular word that's wrong in the blue or brown categories. At the aviary, Marcy Palmer cried when she discovered a hatchling had overheated in the incubation station. Meanwhile, Declan Aster entered the aviary where his bracelet was stolen by the bleary-eyed flower piercer. Following this encounter, Declan Aster went to feed the death rattle lorry and stepped on the eggs hidden in the bush. In retaliation, the masked grouse attacked Declan Aster, killing him. His last screams were mimicked by the death rattle lorry, which agitated Nalthix Herald, which attacked Crystal Moore. Yeah. Yeah, that all sounds correct to me. Fuck. Let's see. Any names wrong? The bleary-eyed flower piercer. Yes. Death rattle lorry. The masked grouse. Death rattle lorry. Nalthix Herald. Agitated. Bracelets used there. Eggs. Bush. Hatchling. Screams. It's very efficient there. Went to feed it, overheated. Stolen. I think isn't used. Cried. Killing him. Scavenged. Trained. So stolen, scavenged, and trained aren't used, I think. I don't know if that matters at all. I'm just curious what I'm trying to in any way unpack what I'm doing wrong here. At the aviary, Marcy Palmer cried when she discovered that a hatchling had overheated. Marcy Palmer, these names are correct, yes. Declan Astor entered the aviary where his bracelet was stolen by the... yeah, we know they have it. He then went to feed the death rattle lorry and stepped on the eggs hidden in the bush. The masked grouse attacked Declan Astor, killing him. There we go. Mimicked by the death rattle lorry, agitated Nalthix Herald. They seem to be attacking Crystal more. No, I'm pretty sure that all this grammar plays out just fine. It's too tight. There aren't really alternate words to interpret most of the stuff. Went to feed the death rattle lorry. So maybe it is corn? It's annoyingly hard to tell. So the corn is the masked grouse, which would make sense because that's the one that attacked him, but, you know, they're all around, seemingly. Okay. It was just the individual bird. Because it's hard to tell in this art style whether something is millet or corn. You've solved the scenario, look at this goofer. After volunteering in a trial during his lunch break, Declan Astor, a new employee at Marrow Aviary, forgot to take the hatchling out of the incubator. Then, while attempting to feed the masked grouse, he stepped on its nest. The grouse killed Declan, indirectly agitating all the other birds. It's funny because, like, when you look at the timeline, it was pretty obvious that Declan got killed by the grouse. It was just a matter of, like, trying to deal with this really big web of the exact way they want me to report that. Research engineer. Subject 37 did not arrive for his follow-up appointment. Project lead. Another scumbag took the money and ran. Research engineer. That's possible. Either way, we'll need to throw out his research data. What did he do at the data disk? Did not arrive for a follow-up appointment. I don't know who's taking what money and running, but I feel like given everything else I see in this game, they probably wouldn't want to, stick around. I feel like if you see the inner workings of any of the groups we've seen so far, sane people would just fuck off and not come back. Alright, so I guess we're gonna translate what all the symbols mean on the idol. I don't know how this bird is ever gonna come up, it probably won't. But, we'll see how this all plays out next time. Whew!